It's day 14 of the murder trial of disbarred South Carolina lawyer Alex Murdaugh.
Court proceedings came to an alarming halt yesterday after a bomb threat forced the evacuation of the courthouse in the middle of proceedings. It came just as a witness was about to take the stand. Here's the moment it happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to evacuate the building at this time, so we'll be in recess until we discover what's going on.
The trial resumed later in the afternoon, and proceedings were filled with testimony about the unsolved murders of Murdaugh's wife and son and allegations of financial fraud that the prosecution argues may have been a motive for the murders. NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber joins us now with the latest on what happened in court. Ellison, a pretty scary moment there in court with that bomb threat. How exactly did that play out, and how did people inside the courtroom react?
Yeah, I mean, look, police say that they received a phone call from what they describe as a male voice saying that there was some sort of bomb device in the building, specifically in the judge's chambers. They say that no such threat was found, but that call alone, it led to an evacuation of the courtroom. The trial itself was stopped for nearly 2.5 hours. Police took the defendant in this case, Alex Murdaugh, out through a back door into police custody. The judge, who you heard in that video you showed, told everyone else in the courtroom to calmly make their way outside. For some who were there, they said this was another moment, another twist in a case that has just been full of unexpected turns. Listen.
I didn't think I would be a little nervous, but I was. I mean, it was like, well, this is real deal here. You know, they were grab them. A little unnerving, but I guess it's par for the course for this trial.
So Alex Murdaugh is accused of killing his wife and son. The prosecution has alleged, and they're focusing more on this in the last a couple of days here, they have alleged that he was motivated to commit this crime, which he has pled not guilty to, because he was trying to cover up financial crimes that he himself had committed. Alex Murdaugh has pled not guilty.
Yeah,
Clay, Joe.
Ellison, let's talk more about what happened during the proceedings yesterday. We heard testimony about gunshot residue that was found on Murdaugh's jacket, and then more about those alleged financial crimes you mentioned. What did those witnesses say?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and this is something that experts have pointed to as a challenge for the prosecution, saying they have laid out a very complex narrative with a lot of evidence, a lot of witnesses. And the question is, can the jurors kind of keep up with it, and or can the prosecutors put it compactly enough that it makes sense to them at the end of this? When we're talking about that jacket, you had a forensic scientist testifying that she found gunshot residue on Murdaugh's shirt and shorts he was wearing that night, also on a blue rain jacket that they recovered from his parents' house. On that jacket, she said that she found a substantial amount of gunshot primer residue outside and inside the jacket. She said that that seemed to suggest that either someone was wearing that jacket, perhaps inside out, when a weapon was fired, or that that jacket was wrapped around a weapon that had recently been fired, and that's why there were so many particles. The defense tried to poke holes in that yesterday, having that forensic scientist talk about whether or not she could really determine how or when that residue got on the jacket. She ultimately said she couldn't, only that she later found it. In terms of the financial crimes, again, this is complicated, and there's so much to process here. Alex Murdaugh has been accused of stealing nearly $9 million in legal fees from his firm, clients, and other firms that they worked with. The prosecution fought really hard to bring that evidence in because they say it proves he had a motive here, that he killed his wife and son because he was trying to shift the focus away from his financial crimes as they started to unravel. We heard from his paralegal yesterday. We should hear more today. Guys.
So much evidence, so many twists and turns. Ellison, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.